My Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the earth, welcome back. This is your Moray, Dr. Yeshua. I want to take this moment again to say thank you. Thank you, my brothers and my sisters. Thank you for your subscriptions and your likes, your comments, and your prayers. My brothers and my sisters, again, let me say this, that I want to encourage you to share this channel with, as we're trying to do a promotion on this, right? We want to get as many people to subscribe, one message out. We want a message out. Share it with others, my brothers and my sisters, so that they can also in turn share it with their friends. So if you have loved ones and and friends that have not subscribed to this channel, we're going to ask you to share it with them. It's good to invite them when you're watching the Bible study series, to get them to spend a few moments with you. As you're blessed, you're blessing them by hearing the word and sharing the word. Okay, so please, by all means, try to share it. Try to share it. All right, the last time we're dealing with Psalm 34, and we've dealt so far with verses 1 through 4, and we have started verse 5, and we're dealing with praising Yahuwah. Praising Yahuwah. Verse 5 has two Hebrew letters, He and YAHUAH, He and Vav. Okay, and so they look unto him. That's where we left off. They look unto him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. I want us to look at the word look there, because the word look means that, to look, really just to look. But there's something about this look. Who they're looking to? They're looking unto Yahuwah. They're looking unto Yahuwah. The word look here is a word nabat in the Hebrew language, nabat. And it means to look. It is nun, bet, and tet. Nun, bet, and tet. And the word here, my brothers and my sisters, nabat, is to look. Okay, to look is to cause to behold, or to consider, to look down, regard, to have respect, or to see. And the word here, my brothers and my sisters, it has the primitive root is like to scan something. You're scanning. You're looking. You're scanning. That is, you look intensively. You look intently. Look intently at something or at someone. By implication, is to regard with pleasure or with favor or with care. To behold or to consider. Sometimes you can look down, or sometimes you can look up. You have regard, you have respect. You see, and a lot of times, instead of looking to Yahuwah, we're looking at people. We're looking at people. Right now, we are in a phase, in a time, is what they call it, political campaign time now, right? And we have certain people that people are looking at and they're looking to. Okay, I would encourage them to look to Yahuwah. Look to him, because no man can give you your heart's desire. No man. Only Yahuwah can. You have people out there, some promising you good, some promise you bad. Some say I'm gonna do good, Some say I'm going to do bad. Okay? That's what they're saying. And so we now can get ourselves tied up with all of these promises and, and get carried away by not paying attention to what Yahuwah's word said. We are people, right? We are people, we have feelings, right? And like we have emotion, we have likes, and we have desires, right? And so by all means, somebody going to, keep paying attention to what somebody else is doing, what somebody else is saying, But my brothers and sisters, this is what the world is. The world is like that. And we can get carried away, We can get carried away by paying attention, But to look to him, they look to Yahuwah, he said. And to look here means, my brothers, like I said, let me repeat it, is cause to behold or to consider, to look down or regard or to have respect, And so our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, and we are to look just like our ancestors. They were in need, they were in time of need, great need, and they know that no one could help them in their situation. So what they did, they look to Yahuwah. They look intently at him. They regarded him with pleasure, with knowing that he alone has favor, that he alone could care for them. He alone considered the ways that they are in, and look down on us and have pity, on us, regard us as his children, and to, have respect for us as we respect him. He sees us, my brothers and sisters, in our time of need. This is what he said. They looked unto him. And what happened when they looked? My brothers and sisters, what happened when they looked unto him? He said, they were lightened. They were lightened. The word lightened here is a word nahar. Nahar, the Hebrew word nahar. And the word means to stream. Stream. Nahar is nun, mem, and resh. Nahar. And it means to flow. The word means to flow or to stream. It's like flowing together. Be lightened. In other words, they were in darkness, and now they're in the light. We were in darkness, my brothers and my sisters, and when we start our relationship with him, when he comes into our life and our hearts, then he lightened us. He enlightened us. And so it's like we sparkle, figuratively, we're cheerful. We're cheerful. It is like from the sheen of a running stream to flow, flowing, it's like the assembly to flow together, to be enlightened, my brothers and sisters. And that's what he's saying here, that they were enlightened. They were lighted. They were lighted. And not only that, he said they were lighted, but I want you to notice, my brothers and sisters, there in verse 5, that their faces were not ashamed. In other words, let me say again, their faces, after they looked to him, and they were lighted, and he lit their life up, my brother and sister. He lit our lives up. And what happened? We were not ashamed. We were not ashamed, my brothers and sisters. And the word here, shame, is a word kafir, to be abashed or to be ashamed. You know, to be abashed or to be ashamed. In other words, to be confounded. Right? After we look to him, after he lit our lives up, my brothers and sisters, right, we stand before him and he took us out of confusion. You know, we were not ashamed, we were not confounded. You know, some people will say, oh yeah, let him go on. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he trusted in his God. Let him God here. You know, let him help him. Let him help him. I think about YAHUAH when he was on the tree dying. You know, there are people on there mocking and, oh, he trusted in God. Let God help him now. That's what they were saying. You know. Well, my brothers and sisters, he was buried after he was dead, man. And if you did listen to them, you and I would be still in our sins. You and I wouldn't have any hope. And even though they bring reproach to him, he was not ashamed. He took our sins and our shame. You know. The primitive root perhaps means is the word wrath. The same as chafar or kafar, you know, through the idea of a detection, to blush, figuratively to be ashamed or be disappointed, you know. To shame, to reproach, to be confounded, to be brought to confusion, to brought unto shame, to put to shame, to bring reproach. My brothers and sisters, YAHUAH never let that happen to us. He never let that happen to his people when they call to him, and when they call to him, my brothers and sisters. Praise be to his holy name. He said, their faces were not ashamed. In other words, some people say, man, you have shame, you shame face, you know. YAHUAH is always looking out for us. They're going to let us fail. We trust in him. We may be calling on him for something and we may have to wait a while. But my brother, my sisters, he does not do anything to let us down. He always brings us up. Praise his holy name. He always lifts us up out of the mire, out of the clay, and put us in a safe place. In verse 6, my brothers and sisters. Look in verse 6. Verse 6 is the next Hebrew letter, Zayin. Zayin. And he said, this poor man cried. This poor man cried. And YAHUAH heard him and saved him out of his troubles. Out of all his troubles, rather. Out of all his troubles. Kara, the word there. Kaf, Resh, and Aleph. Kara. And the word here, my brothers and sisters, is to call. The word cry here is the word kara, means to call. Means to proclaim. It means to read. You know, kara. Kaf, Resh, and Aleph. Kara. And so, my brothers and sisters, you know, He cried. He called to Yahuwah. My brothers and sisters, the word here means that are bidden. He called for, he called forth, he called upon him, he cried unto him. He was famous in his calling. He was famous in his calling, my brothers and sisters. Rather, identified with Kara. And my brothers and sisters, you have the idea of accosting a person's met, to call out to, properly, to address him by name, but used in a wide variety of application. Like for those who are bidden, to come, call forth, to to cry unto, to be famous, like inviting a guest, right? And you call them to come, to your venue that you mentioned, to give them, and so by name you call them, right? So how do we do it now? We preach, right? And we proclaim, and we teach, and we pronounce, we publish, we say it. Renowned, we say it, my brothers and sisters. Praise be to his holy name. The poor man, he said, this poor man, he cried. And Yahuwah heard. The word, see the word here, heard there, Yahuwah heard him. In other words, Shama is to hear. Yahuwah heard. He hears when we call him. When we call to him, my brother, my sister. Shin, Mem, and Ayin. That's the word there, Shama. He hears. And so in other words, is to call together, to carefully, to consent, to consider, to hear intelligently. To hear intelligently. Yahuwah, he hears us. By implication, he come to attention. When he calls us, he wants us to be obedient. He wants us to come to attention, to hear, to tell. He wants us to gather together carefully, my brothers, my sisters. He wants us to declare diligently. We have to give ear, like how he hears us. We must give ear to him, to what he said too. It's a reciprocal thing. We call on him, and he hears us. He calling us, we must hear him too. We must be obedient to him too. We must listen to him, to what he said. And whatever it tells us to do, my brothers and sisters, we must go out there, we must proclaim, we must publish, we must report, we must make sound with my brothers and my sisters. He said, we must understand what he said. And whosoever heareth, we must go and be a witness to what we have heard. Praise be to his holy name. Yes, my brothers and my sisters. He said, this poor man, he called. He called. He cried to Yahuwah. And he said, and Yahuwah heard him. Yahuwah heard him. He heard him, my brothers and my sisters. Praise be to his holy name. This poor man cried, and Yahuwah heard him. And not only that he heard him, but my brothers and my sisters, he said, and he saved him out of all his troubles. Yasha, the word Yasha there is to deliver. Yasha. Yod, Shin, and Ayin, Yasha. It's the word there. Yod, Shin, and Ayin. And my brothers, what he's saying there is that Yahuwah delivers. He delivers. He saved. He deliver him. Our time is gone. We're going to have to come back to verse 6. We have to come back to verse 6. So my brothers, my sisters, we're going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today and walk with the King. Shalom.